JR had always been fascinated by science, space especially. As a kid, he could spend hours lying in the grass, tracing constellations with his finger, imagining the mysteries beyond Earth. But life veered, and drugs slowly dimmed that curiosity, pulling him away from everything he loved. When he finally got clean in treatment, he learned he was about to miss something huge. A total solar eclipse passing just 90 miles from where he was. He wasn't allowed to leave the grounds, so he stepped outside with the others and watched a partial eclipse instead. Beautiful, yes, but incomplete. The real awe, the totality, was just out of reach, like so much else had been. But then he found out another total eclipse would cross the country in 7 years. 7. If he stayed sober, if he kept moving forward, he could be there. He made it a long-term goal. A strange one, maybe, but real enough to pin his hope to. Something worth reaching for. His early recovery was bumpy, but he held on. Eventually, he got his license back, bought a used car, and picked up steady work. He even enrolled in college to study the social sciences, trying to understand people, himself included, in new ways. One afternoon on campus, while thinking about how he might manage a solo road trip that far from home, he overheard an announcement. The college was planning a trip to the exact center line of the eclipse. Transportation, lodging, chaperones, everything. His ears perked up. Suddenly, the impossible seemed completely doable. Months later, on a cool April morning, JR climbed onto a bus with a group of students and faculty. The air buzzed with anticipation. They headed west, passing through rolling fields and small towns, making memories along the way. Shared snacks, inside jokes, late-night conversations that only happen on long road trips. By the 4th day, they reached a park in a quiet Midwestern suburb. They weren't alone. People from everywhere had gathered. Families, scientists, travelers, enthusiasts. Eclipse-themed music echoed faintly from a speaker. A ripple of collective excitement passed through the crowd. The sunlight grew thin. Through their eclipse glasses, the moon appeared to eat away at the sun until only a slender crescent remained. Shadows distorted. The sky shifted to a strange metallic color. Birds went silent. Crickets paused. A hush fell, as if the world were holding its breath. The horizon began to glow in a pinkish orange ring, even while the sky above deepened into twilight. A few bright stars winked into view. Then it happened. A massive shadow swept over the land faster than he expected. Nothing like the slow fade of a sunset. Daylight collapsed into a surreal darkness. The horizon blazed orange, circling them like a distant fire, while overhead, deep blue sky shimmered with stars. People gasped. Some cheered. Some cried. JR just stared. There it was. The sun, completely covered by the moon, surrounded by a ghostly white corona. It didn't look real. It looked like something from a dream or a hallucination, but clearer, truer, more ancient. A primal awe rose up from somewhere deep inside him, and he wondered what his ancestors must have thought when they witnessed the same impossible sight. Emotion swelled in his chest. Gratitude, disbelief, wonder. He had made it. He had stayed clean long enough to see this. On the long ride back home, JR watched sunlight return to the world through the bus window. He felt blessed, not in a vague way, but in a quiet, personal way. He had been given another chance at life, another chance to stand under a sky that he once thought he'd never get to see clearly again. And he had taken it.